That's what you do. You buy these players that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on, with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the truth. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first two episodes, the second season, something like that. Stallone.
We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
Good evening, everyone. Footy tonight, nothing else, all football. It's as simple as that. No history, no going back, no nothing. It's just football. So please, just talk about the history. I've got my the legends with me in a moment or two. I just want to say to everyone, Gap Patent Services, who sponsors the Frank Carlyle show. And don't forget, these lads are fully time served. They're fully insured. They're absolutely, honestly, they're brilliant. If you're an NHS worker, don't struggle. Don't struggle coming home and trying to paint or whatever. Get these lads in. You'll get a special discount. You really will. And if you're at OAP, please get them in. Don't struggle at all. And you get a special discount. But even if you're not in those categories, honestly, if you're not in those categories, what you will get is a reasonable price. Don't struggle. You know, I used to do my own decorating until I broke my bloody neck, so don't be like me. Don't struggle. Just get them in. Honestly, they're well worth it. As I said, the fully time served lads. I'm fully insured. Anyway, and these lads here as well support our small businesses. Just support our small businesses. And this is that scarf or a badge. These are great couple. Michelle and Mike Dean. Great couple. Quality stuff. I've got t-shirts and everything out of there. And they're for the summer, you know what I mean? It's too bloody cold to wear them now. But get up there. Match days, they're always open. You can go online at scarforabadge.com. All capital letters. Just go online, see what their merchandise is like. All reasonable as well. All reasonable people. And I just want to go on and say hello to these fellas. Edward, Frankie. Hello, Edward. The Red Bird. 7 people at the moment chatting, yet showing only one like. There's YouTube, yet they always do YouTube. But like the like button, or have you all forgot to hit it? You see, you get under there, they say, smash the like button. And that's demanding. I just say, press the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to get the algorithm up there. Because you've got great guests on. You've got the likes of Mr. George Scott, a legend. Shankly signed him. The Shanks. This fella. Unbelievable. I've got a lad on. I said, do you want to come on? And he went, yeah, all right. And that's Dean O'Brien. He'll be coming on in a moment. Along with you. I just want to say hello to everyone. And as the Red Bear says, don't be like Frank. Don't break your neck. Soz. Frank, I couldn't resist that joke. It's okay. You might break the neck, but you break the fingers. Pressing the like button or subscribe. So, Coffee says, Frank's neck is bolted on. Of course it's bolted on. A monster. Oh, come on, lads. And the Anfield Roar. Got to get into it. Red Bear. The Anfield Roar. There he is. And there's the wonderful Snapey in the corner there. Like it or not, it's Tuesday footy night. Greetings, Copites, one and all. And Steve, let's go, champ. Yes, let's go. Let's bring on these wonderful lads. Here's the legend himself, George Scott. There he is. Hey, George.
Hey, Frank. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are the boys in the chat? Yeah, lovely to see you, Frank. Yeah, great to be back. Great to be on.
And I've got this lad on here, a new lad. He's coming on. And Big Red, season ticket holder, always there. Always shouting us, come on, you Reds, and everything else, and doesn't like anything negative. And there he is, Dino O'Brien, and there he is. Hey, Dino.
You all right, Frank? Can you hear me?
Hi, Dean.
No, we can't hear you. No, I'm only joking. I can hear you, all right, honestly.
I'm new to this kind of thing.
How you doing?
You all right, George?
Welcome to the chat, mate.
Nice one, mate.
And the Snapey says, great Scott, it's George.
Hey, Snapey.
And the Anfield Roar. The covers of having George on. And welcome, Dean O'Brien. How are you, lads? And there's pints for you. Isn't that lovely?
Lovely, that, yeah.
Well, listen, I've got to ask you two right away. The game the other day. I'm going to go to their Dino here. Let him come out with the first one. The second half of that game against Wolves, we were shocking. You can't deny that. So what's your take? I know what you're going to say. I know that you're going to say, well, we played Everton and, so go on,
Well, I always think context is important, and you know me, Frank. I'm not like I don't like it when people give their heads down the banks. I like to look for positivity and look for reasons why the performance might have been off. But certainly for me in the ground, because of how far we started to sit in, it looked more tactical to me. Like we were trying to conserve energy with the workload of games we've got coming up. But everyone's got their own opinion, and that's just mine.
So didn't worry you like the last quarter of an hour?
To be honest, mate, I mean, I was worried. I was as nervous as anyone in the ground. But having said that, and I've watched the game back, they didn't really lay much on us. I thought in between both boxes, I thought Wolves were really good. They're inside in possession, play really good football, some really good technical players. But I thought in both boxes is where the difference was. And, having that extra quality of footballer that Liverpool are able to possess is what ultimately won us the game in the end.
Well, I think 2 tackles won us the game. One by Quansah, right? And the other by, the very last minute. That fella was about to cross it. And it could have gone anywhere until Enzo just went in and stopped that. That was it. And the game was over then. But, I think no matter what anyone says, we were very lucky. And we can't play like that because I'm telling you now, if we start playing like that tomorrow night against Aston Villa and against City at the weekend, I'm sorry, George.
Yeah, well, Frank, in 2020, I had a 5-way heart bypass. And I'll tell you, the last 10, 15 minutes, I was heading back to Broad Green for a replay. Honestly, my heart was pumping 10 to the dozen. I was so nervous, We tend to get like that watching Liverpool at the moment. It gets very tense every game because we're right into the end part of the season now and we need to be there every game, don't we? I agree with Dean. I thought Wolves were excellent second half. They threw caution to the wind and went for it. Played good football and it caught us a little bit. One of those days, I think, when the boys were just not quite there second half. It does happen, but champions find a way to win, and we found a way to win, and that's the main thing. And I thought bringing Endo on was a masterstroke because he's a warrior, and he got stuck in and made a bit of a difference. And to be fair to young Quansah as well, that was a desperate tackle. That was a desperate tackle, and he got us out of jail there. So I'll give the lad credit for that. Oh, that could have cost us the 2 points. It was a pretty good chance. And also the goalkeeper, Alisson, was right through his own, so not our best performance, Frank, but, I've not been on since the Everton game, I just wanted to say one thing about that before we move on. I hope Michael Oliver doesn't referee another Liverpool match this season.
Yeah,
I really hope
that. That's the problem.
Absolute disgrace, First of all, Salah went through. He was chopped down blatantly. I've seen all the replays. The guy was 10 yards away. He never gave it. And then we all know the story after that, the extra time, the Konate thing. It was just shocking. That guy's already cost us one Premier League when Doku kicked McAllister in the chest. That cost us a 3-pointer there, And so I just hope he doesn't referee. That's all I wanted to say about that. But the game, actually, the other night, we got the points, Frank, and I'm absolutely delighted we got the points. And now on to tomorrow.
Well, the Redbird says, Frank, change it to the George Scott Legend Show. YouTube may let you keep more likes rather than taking them away. I know what the score is.
Dean's a legend, not me. He's the real fan on the terrace, and boy, never misses a game.
Well, Snapey says, Christ, O'Brien, how's it hanging, Mr. Out?
I'm all right, Steve.
And Copeye says, Tino, fancy lensing George some of your hair.
I had more hair than him when I was his age. You've not seen the photograph on the front of my book. I had a beetle cut, mate. Now got an Arnie slot cut.
And Steve says, straight to the point here. Steve, are you at FSG in or out?
I'd love to say I'm on the fence, but I'm more leaning out than in. I think the last 3 windows have been really disappointing, and I think they've stopped us from going on and having a lot more. Winning more. I think
because I've always said, I'm telling you now, I've always said that the likes of Klopp, he went through his tenure at Liverpool on a shoestring.
Yeah.
And if they was have invested more, I'm convinced we would have won 2 more league champions and at least 2 more. And I mean, there's 2 more premierships.
Definitely at least 1 more league title. But yeah.
And Steve, again, to you,
doing now, this Marmouche, he's got a hat-trick of the weekend.
Yeah, again, these are the...
And now they're looking at signing somebody else, another 70, 80 million pound player. So they're getting the money, aren't they? They're spending it. And that's why they've become champions the last 5 years.
Well, this is why they're starting to consolidate. They were struggling.
And that's what we need to do next season.
Well, he actually seen, he looked at certain positions and said to the owners, listen, we need to bring these. And I know people will say, what about the 135 things and all this? But it makes no difference. They just bought players.
Yeah,
And they're moving up the tier.
financial fair play doesn't seem to apply to them somehow. I don't know why.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately.
Everyone got docked 10 points. They built a stadium down there, generating £1 billion for the economy in that part of Liverpool. You know, and I don't hold any candle for Everton. None of us do, really. But it was unfair that should have been done. And you see City sailing along in the crest of a wave, spending money like confetti.
And Steve says, Dino, did the players look fatigued?
They did look fatigued, but more of a, not in the sense of like the legs were running out fatigued. It was more of just playing against opposition that were fresh, that had a full week's preparation, while you've had a really tough game in a derby. And we know derby games are frenetic at the best of times, and there wasn't a lot of quality on show. It was a throwback game. You know what I mean? Like you go back to all the games from the 90s, 80s, where they just basically wanted to kick lumps out of us for 90 minutes. And I wouldn't say the wheels are falling off just yet. I'd like to see what the performance is like against Aston Villa.
Yeah, well, no, we've never said that, to be honest, but we're just worried about, the last few games.
Yeah.
And how we've performed, which has been dreadful, to be honest. We're better than that. This is what we're saying. We are better than that. A lot better. And that's what everyone says on here, Dino,
Yeah, no, that's why I think a lot of it is a bit tactical, though, mate, in the fact that we're trying to conserve as much energy as possible and squeeze and just doing enough to win. And at the end of the day, just doing enough to wins championships.
Yeah. It does. And look how we played against Spurs. That's what we need to do against Villa.
Yeah.
Well, the greatest cop-out on the planet, Callum, he says, I think we will win tomorrow 3-2. Salah double and Nunes a late winner.
I'm not sure.
I'll do me, Callum.
I'm not sure.
I don't want my ass here again. I'm biting it. Anyway, Stephen says, if you analyse it, Wolves only had 3 shots on target in the second half. I used the term attritional last night, and the rest of the season will be just that, in my opinion. Emotions get the better of. I think you're right there, I think you're right. But we've got to go through these. I'm sorry, just spare me out on it. Just spare me out. The Anfield Road. Question for Frank, Dane and George. Would you start Endo after this clever energy in the game and dark arts? Seeing as though Villa are missing Onana and Kamara, should this be a given thing for him to start? What do you think?
I'm not sure, really, to be honest. I still favour the 3 Szoboszlai, McAllister, the usual mid-3 there to start with anyway. But Endo is absolutely brilliant as a fallback to come on. And because I think we need to play attacking football now. We need to start showing our mettle. He's brilliant, Endo. I love him.
What do you think, Dino?
Absolutely not. As much as I love Endo, his passion, his commitment, he's not. Frank, we got to be honest. We criticised the owners about the lack of investment, and Endo's only there because the owners won't put their hand in the pocket.
Yeah.
For all his endeavour, he lacks, ability on the ball that Arne Slot likes his midfielders to play with. For me, I'd bring Curtis Jones in. I think Curtis would bring a bit more energy.
I think Curtis, though, he showed his passion. He showed his scout's passion against Everton. When that Decore ran over you should never do. You've been told
he was out of order there.
Don't go over and intimidate, the fans, the opposition fans. Do not do it. And he went right over. He knew what he was doing, that fella. And he's come out and said he was all racist remarks shouted at him. And that's not our fans. That ain't our fans. He's a liar. That's the card being thrown in as usual. And it's shocking.
Yeah.
I'm fuming at that when I heard that. Fumed. anyway, the Anfield. I don't know whether this is interesting or not, but our running the Champions League so far, we've dragged in 100 million. If we go deeper into the potentially we could earn 200 million and factor in Clark, Cavallo, Sepp money. And, no one mentions that. No one ever mentions the money we got for those.
Oh, yeah, I made a fortune on Champions League. More than anybody.
That's some 265 million pure spend. And we can spend that amount without going into the financial fair play as well. We can do all that. What do you think? Do you think we can spend that much money?
Well, I think there's obviously, you've got to look at that. There's payments for the state, the Anfield Road end that have got to be made as well. So I think they will look to take some of that out of it again. But you'd like to think, with all the other money, the TV money and everything else that comes in, why can't we spend it?
Exactly.
We've laid dormant now for 3 windows. I mean, I don't count Chiesa. Chiesa's more of an appeasement signing than anything else.
We've always said that
all along. When we were there, like looking at him, I followed Serie A. I was watching Inter and Juve before. Anyway, that's by the by. And Juve would never have allowed him to go, Chiesa. And don't forget, when he came, he was injured and he wasn't even near match fit. And I just say to people, say, well, give him a chance. Hang on a minute, we've had him since so many, how many games he plays. I just dismiss all that as foolish rhetoric, to be honest. And as Snipey says, FSG are keen to consolidate instead of speculate where transfers are concerned. We stagnate too quickly, being frugal in the transfer market. We act like a small club.
That's definitely been the case in the last 6 months, last year, without a doubt, last 12 months. That needs to change in the summer when the new window opens.
Well, Steve's asking, you could ask me, you could ask George, you're just not like Dino. We all know that they don't invest. See, one thing that we don't do here, and I'm talking about this particular pod, no one says FSG out. We criticise them, and we should be criticising them. No one is under, no illusion that we don't criticise. And everybody's there to be criticised, that whether it's a player, whether it's a manager, whether it's anybody, they're all there to be criticised. If criticism is needed, and we've always criticised FSG and the spendthrift. George.
Yeah, I think it's all those story: praise when you do well and criticise when you need to be criticised. And they do need to be criticised for the lack of activity in the transfer market in recent months. Okay, certainly the last 9 months of a year. But, we can't do nothing about it now, between now and the end of the season. So it's a bit of a wasted argument, to be honest. You're wasting breath. Nothing can happen. Nothing will happen. So I think really you need to concentrate on getting the boys over the line and winning this Premier League, really, and discussing how we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still trying to find out who's winning the Fantasy League, for the Premiership, to win the watch.
Well, I think I'm 7th now, Frank. I'm number 7.
Oh, yeah.
One step away from top 6.
Have you seen that, Tino?
Yeah.
That's a prize, that. Whoever wins
I can watch that, Frank.
So...
I was like checking the bottom or something, so I've given up. I don't even. No more.
I just want to get in the top 4.
I'm useless.
Qualify for Europe.
Second to bottom. Yeah, I saw that Francine, George, that you're taking over there.
I'm ahead of her, yeah, but not by much. Not by much.
What I said to her, I said George was made up. I said, I'm past.
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
Well, giving a book
And
away
this
as well.
is the Champions League one, the fantasy for Champions League, Mo Salah's autograph. It's the actual programme from Madrid 2019 when we beat Spurs. And what a prize that is, because you've got the lads who scored the first goal.
Yeah.
You never
Not many of them on going around.
So 2 great prizes, all from my own pocket.
Brilliant.
Anyway, Paul Owie, FSG have held us back, and all the time we are punching above our weight. They won't spend. Brighton spent nearly 200 million in the summer, and we bought the sick note, Chiesa. As Dino said, though, he was an appeasement. I've said that all along. We shouldn't go after him even before we bought him.
Yeah. He was injured before he came.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Steve says, Dino, who comes in if Canate or Virgil are not available?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a scout, so I don't really play champ manager much, to be honest with you. I mean, I like to look at the kid from Bournemouth, Hussein, but then I start thinking Hussein and go back to Glenn Hussein, and who was here in 1990 when we won the league. Swedish defender, you remember him, Frank? Glenn Hussein.
Yeah. Hussein.
I keep making that like connection in my head, Hussein. So and he's not got a lot of experience, so I think it'd probably be a bit of a gamble.
Well, when we signed him, I said we've just signed the best looking player on the planet.
Yeah,
big handsome fella. But I don't think he means that, Steve. I think he means if Canate and Virgil are injured now. That's what he means.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah. I misread that. I thought it was like looking ahead to transfers. Well, there's only really Gerald Kwanzaa, isn't he? And to be fair to Kwanzaa, he was really good on Sunday.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean? He made that clearance. And I think that won't have done his confidence any harm. Obviously, his confidence suffered after what happened in the first game of the season at Ipswich, and I think he struggled. And he's needed something like that where he can get the recognition back that, you know, he's got value to the team. So, yeah, I wouldn't have any qualms with bringing Kwanzaa in.
He's got his enthusiasm back as well, hasn't he? Because I noticed when Conor Bradley did some good stuff near the end, he ran over to him and shook him and said, well done, you know. So he was up for it. I like to see it's what you need. It's what Virgil does all the time. You need that passion.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you agree with this, George, on a tough snipey? A fresh Curtis Jones might be a real weapon against Villa.
Yeah, he's a fantastic footballer, Curtis. Makes things happen. Gets that through balls, pushes the ball forward, not always square, goes on runs. Yeah, he needs a run in the team. You know, I've always said that. You know, he seems to come in, get a slight injury, and he's up against a lot of talent there as well, isn't he? With Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very difficult, you know, that's the value of the squad. You know, we need a squad, but a bit sort of light at the back on the squad, as we all know. But up front, we're not too bad. But midfield now, I think, you know, looking a little bit light because you've got them three brilliant guys plus Curtis, and then you've got Harvey Elliott, and about that's it, isn't it?
That's it. That is it. But
we have to be careful of injuries, really, in this running.
Yeah. What would you say, Dino, about a fresh Curtis Jones?
I'm a massive Curtis Jones fan, mate. I know we divide opinion amongst the fan base and that, but like I'm a massive fan of his, and I've always got his back, and I'd have absolutely no problem with Curtis starting tomorrow.
Well, I admire him, and I tell you what, I've always admired Curtis Jones. You know, they could tell you down here that I have, you know, Curtis. And when I seen him going over to Duquesne, that's what he's all about.
Yeah.
That's what that lad was all about. Passion.
Brilliant.
Ban on the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Loves it.
And the Anfield Road says, so if we lose Mo, Rage, Trent, that money should be reinvested into the lineup, right? We shall see FSG step up for once.
What money?
Just hope we don't lose him.
I think that's if we shall see. That's about them, that lot. I don't trust them. I don't do anything about them. And I don't like that word there, Steve, mate. Honestly, I don't like that word. I don't agree with that comment either. No. Ducati was similar to when Gary Neville did it. Yeah, do you ever remember that when Gary Neville ran up?
Yeah, he did, right up to the Kop, yeah. Remember?
Yeah. That was shocking, that.
I was there. No, it was that old FA Cup.
Yeah.
He's a pillar. He's an absolute pelican.
Old Trafford FA Cup. He done it twice, actually.
Yeah.
To be fair, if I score for Liverpool or against Man United or Old Trafford, I'd have been rare in front of them, kissing the badge and giving the fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be honest, there's no player as worse than that doof when he spat at their fans. There's nothing worse than that.
Celtic.
Should never have been at Anfield.
Earlier, should have threw him out there and then.
Yeah.
But he came out. I'm a historian and I know about habits and everything else and customs and culture. And when he came out and said, "Oh, it's in his culture," I actually wrote to Anfield, and I called him out on that. I said, "It's not in his culture. You told a lie. You're making excuses for the man. Get a shot of him." Never got it.
He did the same at Celtic as well.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible, Juve.
And Steve says, my 11 tomorrow, Becker, Trent, Konate, Virgil, Bradley playing left back. Okay. John, Mac, Ryan, Gravenberch, Jota, Mo, Nunes. And he'll play a 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1. What's your take on that, Dino?
Funny enough, I was discussing playing Bradley at left back to me mate coming on from the match the other day.
Really?
Because Andy Robertson is really, really worrying me.
He's gone.
Legs have completely gone. You can see his brain and his legs are just not in sync.
Yeah, he made a few loose tackles, didn't he? Made a few loose tackles, missed the ball completely on the left wing and let them go through. Noticed that. He's just not quite on the ball at the moment, Andy. That might be not a bad shout, Bradley, left back,
I think so, because they'll probably have Leon Bailey. I don't know if he's fit, but Leon Bailey's a left footer who plays off the right. So a left plays off the right would be perfect for Conor Bradley to come in.
Stop him cutting in.
And you know what? Conor is the type of young lad who's got the ability to adapt.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think he's a wonderful player. I really do, and he gets stuck in.
Yeah, he's a throwback.
Sorry,
he's brilliant. He's young lad, brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Redbird says Chiesa hasn't appeased me. I don't think he's appeased anybody. Peter May, the great entertainer, has joined us, and he says, "Evening, I've joined a bit late." So must have been singing to someone. And so true, Gino, says the Anfield Road. It's like, okay, right, we know not to play our spending power hand, but it's not like City, PSG, Chelsea and every other team that spends more than us. Clubs don't know what they have. Honestly, he's spot on there. He's spot on. So listen, Dino, tomorrow night, right? Now I always start off we're in midfield. And then I'll go over to George. Who's your midfield be tomorrow?
Curtis, Gravenberch, and McAllister.
Okay. George?
Yeah, I think probably the same, actually. Probably the same, yeah. I think Curtis is ready for it, I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to leave Szoboszlai out, though, because he's playing well at the moment.
Well, I think you agree with me here, and you, Dino. You know, against Wolves, Szoboszlai was all over the place. He was running everywhere. He was trying to break down. He had the most energy, him and the other fella, Diaz.
Yeah.
They had the most energy on that pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, McAllister looked a bit leggy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought McAllister was the best player on the pitch for 60 minutes, but then he sailed off.
Yeah, in the first half, he was good then.
Right. Spot on.
They were all quite good first half.
Frank George Dino, so he says, Steve. Do FSG run LFC like a Sunday League pub team? Yeah.
No, they only get Galen.
Sunday League teams are better runners than play. Anyway, the Redbird, Steve, why do you always talking about Scousers as to whether or not they are FSG in or out? He's right there, though. You're right there, Redbird. Yet you don't mention the millions of fans worldwide. You do it a lot, mate. Stop putting on us Scousers. I don't want you to argue, boys, honestly. I really don't. You know, this is all about...
Intentional. Opinions, isn't it? It's all about opinions.
It's all about opinions.
It's not
intentional. I know what you mean. Look, Steve, listen, you know, we want to talk about the Reds.
You're obsessed with FSG, Steve,
it's not about FSG or anything, you know. It's... We want to talk about tomorrow's game. We want to talk about the weekend's game. This is what it's all about. You know, we can talk about FSG. We've spoke about it loads of times. Honestly, mate, you know, I don't want to... But, you know, nevertheless, the Anfield, Frank, your grandson winning, and me and Frank are having a mid-table battle. I'm still wedged between Scott and Carlyle. You know what? Francine said it a while back. She said it, sorry. She said, Ben's winning that thing, you know. I said, don't go away. She said, he is. I don't know how it plays out. I haven't a clue. I just said, you know, I'll have a fantasy to the producer, Jason, and he started it all. And I haven't a clue, honestly, how it works or whatever. And that's when Francine said, and as the Anfield Road, Frank, your grandson winning. That's Ben.
That's brilliant. Is that Ben? Is it grandson? Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. You know, it's not cheating or anything. Honestly, it's not cheating. Well, it can. You just
tell Francine I've got a good coach. My son.
Well, there you go, you see. Paul Baker's even a Frank George Dino. Bit late on parade, but looking forward to the rest of the show. So, okay, so you picked it. I'd pick that team. I'd pick Curtis as well. I really would. I'd, you know, the midfield. And I'd go along with, we'd have to have Gravenberch. We have to.
Yeah.
And McAllister, because McAllister is a ball player.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard with Szoboszlai left out because he has lots of energy. He really has. But you know what I want? What might be surprising? You know, Sloot always comes out with these little surprises. He might play Harvey Elliott. Think about that.
I don't think you're playing from the start, Frank. I don't think
I don't like him from the start. I really don't, George. You know that. He's better
Yeah.
coming off. When he starts, he's hopeless.
both him and Endo are better coming on.
Hope so. So, anyway. Okay, so we're sorted with the... so, Tino. No, I'll go to George. Who's your 3 forwards, George? Because we always play 4-3-3. So who's your 3
I think it's going to be. I would imagine it's going to be Salah, Jota, and Diaz. It might be Nunes. I don't know. But he played Jota at the weekend. So it might be Nunes because he played Jota at the weekend, didn't he? Full 90 minutes, you know. So yeah, I'll change my mind. I'll probably Nunes will play in the middle, and no, Diaz he's been playing like up front in the middle, hasn't he? Diaz, like a centre forward.
Yeah, but he's better out on the left.
So yeah, I think he'll be on the left, and Nunes in the middle, and Salah on the right. That's what I would say. I might be wrong.
Gakpo's you don't forget as well.
He's not fit, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have put him in definitely.
Yeah.
I think our best one is Salah, Jota, and Gakpo. That's our best 3, I think, if they're all fit.
I love Jota when he's match fit. And I mean like a 90-minute match fit, not like 3.
Yeah, I don't know why he cut in. You know, with that penalty that wasn't a penalty. He had a good shooting chance there with the left foot, and he tried to be a bit funny, a bit clever, didn't he? And it looked like a penalty with the naked eye, but then again, you could see in the replay it probably wasn't.
Well, do you know what Francine said? And I mentioned this. Francine said, she said, Daz, when you look at that again, he's seen out the corner of his eye that fella coming at him like a train, like a bulldozer. And he's got out the way because he's just come back from injury. And if he was a bit in, it would have been a penalty, but it could have injured him for the rest of the season. That's what she
said. Wasn't it? Marginal. I tell you what, Fran, the annoying thing, though, in the Everton game, that free kick they scored from, that wasn't a penalty because there was no contact between...
No!
But then, but the referee gave the free kick and VAR didn't intervene. And yet the penalty with Jota, the referee didn't give the penalty and the bloody VAR intervened. What's the difference? Neither player made contact. And one, the VAR comes in, sends them to the monitor, and he switches off the penalty. And the other one, VAR don't get involved.
No.
Tell you what.
That's the name of the game. Unfortunately, yes. The way it's gone. You know, we could... I've said this before to you, George, you know, coming home from the game, I'm going back before all this VAR and everything else. And, you know, we used to discuss the game. We used to discuss the referees as well.
Yeah.
But we never discussed referees like we've discussed them today, in today's game. We've never discussed any sort of, controversy, the likes of penalties, if you like. And it's shocking the way it's gone. That's just my opinion.
Some bad decisions. It affects every club, I know that, but it's some bad decisions.
Of course it does. Of course it does. Dino, okay, who's your back 4?
Trent, Virgil, Canate, and Bradley.
Okay, it's a good shout. George?
I think why you'll play is Trent, Canate, Virgil, and Robertson.
Well, you know, with the likes of Trent, I don't think he can play any worse than he did the other day. I really don't. I don't think he can play any worse. And as people were saying, his head was somewhere else.
Yeah,
and I hope it
looks that way, doesn't it?
I
think he can play him. I might be wrong. I'd play Bradley, actually.
And who is the biggest threat to LFC not winning the trophies? Say Steve.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. No, he's saying trophies. He's plural there.
Oh yeah, so well, they're only in one.
The Champions League. You've really got Newcastle, haven't you, in the final next month?
Yeah, we've got a final to look forward to.
Are you going, Zeno?
I'm in the ballot for a ticket, so we'll have to wait and see whether I get thrown
That's
out.
shocking, that.
Good luck.
That's another disgraceful thing. You know, there's a lad who goes to games.
Yeah.
He's there every week, you know, every home game or whatever, you know, every type of weather. And there he is in a ballot, open to get a ticket. I think it's disgusting. I really do.
Oh, Thursday, I think it is. I think it gets announced on Thursday, the draw. If you've been successful, Thursday or Friday, I think it is.
Same as my other grandson. James is always at the game, and he's the same. You know, it's shocking.
Yeah.
Thousands of people in the same boat. It's shocking, yeah.
I can't even get a ticket for the game. You know, the Premiership game at Anfield. It's shocking. Yeah. George, who's your back for? Did they ask?
You did, yeah. I said Trent, Canati, VVD, and Robertson. Not that I mean, I'd love to see Conor Bradley playing either left back or right back, but I'm just trying to think what Slot will do, and I think that'll be what he'll do to start with. It will be the usual. I don't think he'd do anything strange.
But that's the Redbirds.
2 games back to. Well, 3 games. 3 games. I can't see Robbo playing all 3 games, a full 90 minutes for all 3 games.
No.
You probably won't play 90 minutes. He'd be substituted somewhere during the game if he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't you think, you know, what you said there was interesting, Dino, when you said I love Bradley at left back. So you're leaving out or you're isolating Tsimikas. And don't you think he's the answer to anything?
Definitely not an upgrade on Robertson. Definitely no upgrade on Robertson. So, for me, I wouldn't have Tsimikas in now. He's another one. He's slight. He gets pushed off the ball really easily, and he's got no pace.
Yeah.
When you think Joe Gomez is right-footed and he plays left back, he's played left back. Milner used to play left back, didn't he? James Milner. You know, so you can do that. You can't transition across.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Joe Gomez.
Oh yeah,
so sorry for him. You know, but I think he's gone in the summer because we can't afford to hold on to injury-prone players.
It looks like he's injury-prone.
Jota will be gone as well, to be honest.
He's had a lot of bad luck, to be fair to him. Like,
Joe, you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, you're right, of course. You're right. And the Redbird says the officials are so corrupt. Even if Liverpool do a civil case, we'd lose. They are all bent, in my opinion. Well,
allegedly.
I don't think they're all bent. I just don't think they're very good at the jobs.
Yes, I agree with you. I think they're just inefficient. Not do some of them.
But you know what? I'm not being funny. I said I'm going back about 2 or 3 years ago, and I said Michael Oliver is the best referee in the Premiership, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether he's been.
I think he believes his own legend.
Got that or persuaded by somebody or whatever.
I think it's not a coincidence that as soon as he started refereeing in Saudi Arabia, that is officiating.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that, you see.
That's right.
You're right. You can. There's all swings and roundabouts.
I think the referee in the Man City game is Paul Tierney, I think.
Anthony Taylor.
Who is it?
Taylor.
Anthony Taylor. Is he the lad that lives in Manchester?
Yeah, is it Accrington or something like that? He lives something like
Altrincham.
Altrincham. That's
it. Well, you shouldn't really be allowed to referee a Manchester team because Rob Jones is from Liverpool. I was talking to Rob Jones a month or two ago, and he can't referee a Liverpool Everton game because he's from Merseyside.
Yeah,
so that's not right.
Does he support Liverpool, Rob Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
well,
another one as
yes.
well. There's another referee from Liverpool as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he retired now, isn't he? Used to be a Tranmere fan. Is that the one?
Oh, he's active in the Premier League today. I think there's three referees from Merseyside. There's Rob Jones. There's another one from Liverpool, and there's one from over the water.
All right. Yeah, from Tranmere. Yeah.
Mike Dean, is it? Dean.
No, not Mike Dean. No. Someone. If
I
someone
thought he was from over the water.
As it come off my screen.
Yeah, but Rob told me. He said I can't referee any Liverpool games or Everton games. And I thought, well, how come somebody living in Manchester can referee Manchester games? I don't understand that.
Paul always says here. I remember Glenn saying, giving away a terrible penalty against Man United. His defence, he did only try and catch the ball with one hand.
Oh,
I can't remember that.
The umpire says Quansar has had a hard time with critics this season, but that interception can win you titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, we all know. And he's had it in the tank. Well, he has got it in the tank, But, let's be honest, that tackle, brilliant.
Could win the league. Could win the league too.
He did well when he came on. But he has been, he has been at fault as well. Not against Wolves, but in previous games. That's why Sloot never trusted him. And Snapey says Enzo's an option at centre back, far from ideal. But having said that, he's typically Japanese reliable.
He's captain of Japan. I mean, so
And I've got to say with this, Peter, mate, Curtis Jones for me is ahead of Harvey Elliott now. He wasn't a few seasons back. What Curtis needs to do is restrain himself because his sending off was avoidable. He should have let the Everton player do what he did and let the authorities deal with Takori. Thing is, though, Peter, look, he's a Scouser, and he just, his head went, because that should never have happened. That should never have happened, what Takori did. And these people are being warned. Even Takori must have been warned. They always get warned. Don't go over to intimidate fans. The opposition fans. And he's seen that. And it's like us. If we're on the terraces and a divvy comes over and starts all this and whatever, you go like that, don't you? You start shouting at him. Telling them to, sorry, George, for swearing, tell them to fuck off. You know what I mean? We do that. And that's what he did. That's what Curtis did.
Frank, can I say something? You must put yourself in Curtis's mind. And I'm talking as an ex-player here. A lot of people don't understand the passion when you're on a football pitch. It takes you over. I can guarantee you it takes you over. Even in Sunday League, it takes you over. And when you see an injustice like what happened in that game, the refereeing decisions, the 8 minutes extra time, the last kick of the goal, the Everton fans cheering, coming on the pitch. And then you see that clown going to the Liverpool fans right in front of you. It's hard. I agree with what Peter says. Shouldn't really do it in the room, and he didn't get sent off. But you can't stop yourself. It's like when they take the jerseys off when they score a goal. They know they're going to be booked, but they take them off. You can't control yourself, trust me. It's just the adrenaline on the pitch, especially at that level, when there's so much at stake. So I defend Curtis for that,
I defend him as well. Do you defend him, Dino?
100%. The problem is, I get what Peter's saying, but if Curtis doesn't react like that, then Takori gets away with it scot-free and he doesn't get a second yellow.
There you go.
Reacting away, it highlighted exactly what Takori is doing.
In a nutshell, you said it brilliantly.
Spot
Well
on.
said, that. He gets away with it. He gets away with it. The Anfield Roar. You know, when we played City, did Trent do it to the City fans when we won? A pundit, I forget, who suggested it and said Decore is basically doing the same as Trent. He cupped his ears.
He
Well,
gave
to be fair, Trent did. He did. I remember that. He did. So
But it's different scoring a goal in the heat of the moment and celebrating with that raw emotion after you've been getting stick off those fans for 80 minutes at that point. So then at the end of the game, going 20 yards out of your way to Gold fans, it's totally different. I don't see it being
Totally different. Totally different. And especially in the derby game, by the way.
In the derby, you're playing against your rivals. You know, they're trying to knock you off your perch.
And Snapey says, this is in no way being disrespectful, but Villa are ravaged with injuries. That alone makes fresh legs in midfield an even more appetising prospect. Me, I'd stick 6 fingers up to the Manx. We always do. I remember I always remember when we beat them 4-1 up at Old Trafford United. And what you've seen, we only won it 5 times then, was Fernando Torres doing that. I loved that. And he knew what he was doing. But their gestures, they're not intimidating.
Tonight, who scored for Wigan in Everton's new stadium. First goal scored.
That was good. Yeah, brilliant.
Allison, a lad named
He's a
Allison.
legend. He's a legend, that man, that kid.
I never play him tomorrow night. Christopher says, hey, Frank.
They lost.
It's just. Hey, Frank and everyone, says Christopher. I think Liverpool will start quick tomorrow. Seems we are going for it more in the first half and trying to calm it down in the second. Totally reverse of before Xmas. Yeah, before Christmas. You're right.
I mean, I'm looking at it. They're well below us in the league, aren't they? They're well below us in the league, and they struggled a bit on the weekend. Who were they playing? Ipswich or somebody? They were down 1-0 against 10 men, and they've got injuries. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm quite confident we should take the points. If we play the way we should, and we can.
Yeah. All right, then. All right. So we've got our back. Ali's in goal, you know, that's just solidified that. And what about the forwards? So there's no gap coat, as we know. You know, you've either got Nunes on the left, Jota in the middle, and Mo on the right.
No, I think Diaz will definitely play, Frank. I do. I think he'll definitely play.
This is what I'm saying, trying to the alternative. Would you play Jota centre forward? Or would you put
Frank, I think I would, because he's a goal scorer. And you need a goal scorer. If Nunes plays, he's got to score. He's got to start scoring, hasn't he? We bought him to score goals.
Yeah, of course.
I know he puts the effort in. I love him for that. You know, he never stops running, which is brilliant. But he's really got to start striking the net. And Jota, you know, I mean, if he gets a chance, he usually puts him away.
Yeah, he does. And you know, when you mentioned that before, George, about excuse me, about the penalty incident, right?
Yeah.
And you said he should have hit it first time. Remember before then, when he had to go?
Yeah, went past the post. Yeah.
You know, and he wasn't like, if he would have been a bit further back, it would have been ideal, but he wasn't. The ball, he was right under that ball, if you know what I mean, as a kid.
He does get the chances, doesn't he? He's usually there. He's there or thereabouts in the box. That's what you need.
Well, that's what you need, you know. That's why he's a natural goal scorer, to be honest. He's in the right place. But so is Nunes.
Yeah, when he gets a chance,
Nunes is always, you know, there or thereabouts. It's incredible.
brilliant goals at
Really
Brentford.
is incredible with that fella. But he just misses all the time, unfortunately, not all the time. He's got some great goals, and this is what people tend to forget.
Yeah.
Look at Brentford. He got a brace in the last few minutes. And people tend to forget that. They just like pick on him.
Yeah, and the previous year as well.
Oh yeah, look, Steve says, Dino, talking facts on LFC, refreshing to hear. Yeah?
Cheers, Steve. Nice one, mate.
I call you for everything after. The unfair horse is snaky. So true, I think they're there for the taking. That's tomorrow night. And Steve says, if I had to pick between Robbo or Samikas to play left back, I would play with 10 players. Both need to be sold. That's the harsh thing, you see. And the unfair, I hope Bradley kicks Morgan into the crowds if he starts. Love his tackles. It's like, don't come down my side. You're going to get railed. Love it. The king. Robbo's been crap for 2 years now to be the first choice. Yeah, I think you're right. I've been saying that as well.
He has been poor for a couple of years, but I don't want to just forget about everything that he's done for Liverpool.
No. Well, no one does.
Yeah,
it's
horrible when you see someone who you love that's done so much for your club, and you see them coming to the end of the career. It's really not nice to see.
No. Hamp's everybody, Dean.
Yeah, no, it does.
Sadly.
For nobody.
Sadly.
No one's seen a player like me coming to his end, and it shocked everyone. And that was Roger Hunt.
Yeah, I know.
When Roger Hunt just faded.
Played with him.
And even St. John just faded. They were incredible players. But things have to come to an end, no matter how good they've been.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So
the difference now, though, Frank, is they retire wealthy men from the Premier League. Like Sir Roger Hunt, Ian St. John, and others in my era, they left with nothing, relatively speaking.
Well, that's why I had special nights. It was Frank Carlyle, golf nights, you know. And I remember Tommy Smith and the other fella, and I always remember Tommy, you know, it was in the paper. He had to sell his medals, for God's sake. Sell his medals. And then Tommy Lawrence, he was skint. Yeah. And I had a night for them. And it was great. They got a few of them. Willie Stevens. You know, people don't know him. We know him, George. We know.
They're all living legends, Frank, you know, and there's only 7 of us left now from that squad.
Yeah. I loved Willie Stevens. And me and Ian Golder went down to his house. And he was so humble. Brought us in. So we're having a night for you, and he was made up.
Yeah,
and he came up. He enjoyed the night. We went back down, you know, the money that was earned, and
yeah, I was talking to him at Big Ronnie Yates's funeral, and he's still pretty well.
Yeah,
Billy. Yeah,
that's another legend.
Great players, Frank.
The Redbirds, Steve, behave yourself, lad. What about Frank and George? Don't think they are also refreshing for speaking facts, and they always do. Thank you. To the panel. RLFC well. Hang on. RLFC, a well-run club by FSG in terms of on the pitch and squad. No, I'll say that now to you. No, they're not, lad. And we all agree on that. Every one of us agrees on it. So it's no use. He said, mate, Jeeve thought he was better than he was. He had a good World Cup and he thought that he was Pele.
Yeah.
You've got to tell Dino about that time, about Alfaro Smith, when he went down and and Bob Paisley ran onto.
We're playing against Sunderland, Dino, and I was sat on the bench next to Paisley and Shankly, and Tommy Lawrence kicked the ball out and it went up in the sky and come down, bounced. Well, it didn't bounce; it come down towards the players' tunnel, and Alfie Harris-Smith, the centre forward and plays for St John that night, he jumps up for the ball and the centre half, Charlie Hurley from Sunderland, jumped with him. They clashed heads really badly and they both went down. Alfie stayed down. He was out cold. Big Hurley got up and ran off and he was a big hard man, you know. Alfie was writhing about on the ground unconscious. Bob Paisley limps on like he had that limp Bob when he ran and he had sponge in the water and smelling salts. He gets down over him, he sticks his smelling salts under his nose, puts the water on his head, and Shankly's getting more and more agitated because there's no substitutes. It's 2 minutes before half time, and he knows if Alfie's out, that's it. Maybe 10 men for the second half. So Shanks is leaning forward out of the dugout and he's shouting to Bob. He said, "Is he okay, Bob? Is the boy going to be able to continue? Is he okay?" Bob says, No, he doesn't know who he is, boss. Shanks says, "Tell him it's Pelé." No, that's true. I had that in my own
Tell him it's Pelé.
Brilliant.
He eventually recovered and managed to play on, so won the game in the end.
Oh, that was brilliant. Great story. Young Ross says, I'm going to stick up for Robbo a little. If on the balance of defending to criticising, Trent has been awful this year. Opponents have walked past them this year with Canate and the Verge.
He's done that in a couple of games, haven't they?
Both shouting at him, he said, look, you know, both Canate and Virgil shouting at him. But his head, in my opinion, I don't know about you, Dino, his head is somewhere else.
I'm being honest, Frank, right? I don't think his head is elsewhere.
Okay.
Obviously, all the speculation won't help, but I've been watching Sentinel for years, and he's quite a lazy player anyway. So I don't think these performances are anything new. I just think they're getting more highlighted because of the situation with his contract.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation to be in, really, isn't it? These contracts. I mean, he's a fantastic footballer, Trent. Fantastic footballer. Let's be honest about it. He's probably the best attacking right back in the world at the moment. I mean, if you take all this nonsense about the contract out, just look at him as what he's done for Liverpool, the goals he's made from right back. I mean, it's phenomenal. Hundreds, over 100, I think, 150 or something since he's been. He's only a young lad still. He'll give 100%. I'm sure he will now between now and the end of the season. But I have a funny feeling Dean is going to go to Madrid, you know.
Yeah, no, I do myself, but I just to add a bit of balance to the argument. I mean, the performances from Trent are nothing new for me. I've seen these levels of performances many a times from Trent. It's just that I think he's having less impact on games now from the position that he was originally playing, where he was breaking records for assists and stuff, because of he likes to have the box midfielder. Trent comes inside. I think it's taken a lot away from Trent's actual game of playing actually further over on the right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Really, I think you're right. He's not quite as effective in the current position as he was at right back when he played right as an attacking right back. Yeah.
He seems to try and force a lot of passes now as well. You know, playing passes that aren't on. You know what I mean?
And getting intercepted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Snapey says, my three midfielders, same as Dean. Szoboszlai on the bench. Risking John for 90 minutes could drain his tank. He's better preserved and maintain his energy going forward for the tough games to come. Good show. Good show.
Yeah.
IBR, Harry on Cena. Evenings on Franco, Jorginho, and the young apprentice. That's you, that's it.
I only look
I used to
19.
be an apprentice when I was 15.
Do you know, I think this is a good comment here, and it's from Peter May. I think the next 6 games will be the defining of our season, and whether we win the league or throw it away, I can see it being tighter than you think. I think it's going to be tight, to be honest. I can't see Arsenal throwing away too many points, in all honesty. And that's what we've said on this pod all the time, George. We've never said none of us were going to win the league. We've never said
that, Frank. You can't
and
say
what
that.
we have said, it's up to us now. It's in
I'd rather be in our position than Arsenal's. Obviously 7 points clear, because we can at least afford them a little slip up. They can't afford any slip up, really.
Well, tomorrow night,
I agree with Peter's point. The next 6 games are absolutely, well, they're all key now, aren't they? But the big games, City, Newcastle, Villa. We've got Southampton at home, which should be a banker.
Well, tomorrow night. Go on.
See, we've got Arsenal to play at home, which would be a 6-pointer.
I think
we've got Southampton at home, which we hope we should win that. But the big ones, really, as Peter says, is Man City, Aston Villa, Newcastle. Next 3.
Well, I think
7 points.
If we're still maintaining the thing, the status quo, if we're still maintaining that game won't be a 6-pointer with Arsenal. It'll be a title decider.
And the ground will be bouncing. It'll be like a European night, that game.
Absolutely.
Riding them to death.
Absolutely.
I'll be fighting with my lad over whose turn it is to go to the game, because me and my lad share a season ticket, so they'll be murdering our house then who's getting that ticket.
Yeah, and I give my tickets to the 2 grandchildren and my son, so they're lucky they go. I don't get to go now unless one of them can't go. I just watch on telly. I've had my day, I think.
Do you know what, though? It's to win a league and on the final home game at Anfield.
I hope it doesn't go anywhere near that far. I will be in Broad Green, I'll tell you, if it goes to the last game. Because we've got a tougher last game, haven't we?
Yeah. There's my old mate, Paul Bear. Diaz has a false 9 not working. Start with Jota, mate.
Yeah, and Diaz on the wing.
Diaz runs 11 games playing through the middle without scoring. He goes back out to the left and, he scores. So there's something there, isn't he, that Diaz is definitely prefers playing from the left.
And he made the penalty.
Yeah, as well, yeah.
I think this is a great comment here, and it's about Robertson, to be honest. And he's talking to Paul Owie. Paul Owie, I can get on board with that. I just think the club's lack of care not getting a successor in place for Robbo, rather than let him burn out and damaging his legacy. That's a cracking comment. That really is a cracking comment. Love it. Yeah. And the IBR says, Villa's pace worries me out wide.
Yeah, you IBR, but Liverpool's pace might worry them, mate.
There we go.
We got plenty of pace up front, haven't we?
Yeah.
I just hope Rashford doesn't score. That would really cheese me off.
And as Steve says, Diaz's false 9 experiment needs to stop now. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with Steve there.
Yeah.
And the red bird. Lord, I respectfully disagree, lad. Top players or not, it's not disrespecting Robbo or any top player. criticising a poor performance is fine in my eyes. I agree with
Yeah,
that,
I
to
agree.
be honest. I agree. You know, no one is exempt from criticism. Nobody. Nobody at all. So I think, you know.
Do you know, a player knows if he's had a bad game when he comes off
Yeah.
the pitch. He knows.
But you know what my grandson? Where do you sit in the ground? You know, I'm asking you specifically for the reason. Where do you sit?
In the Kop.
Okay. Now my grandson James, he was in the Kop. He always goes in the Kop, and there was this, you know, from the crowd, you know, saying, you know, pull your socks up or whatever to whoever it was. And did you see Robertson coming over and going like that to them?
I didn't actually see it. My mate did, and my mate told me about it on the way home from the game. I didn't actually see it, but I can kind of see where Robertson's coming from, because there was a nervous energy that was filtering right throughout the crowd, and it was starting to get to the pitch. And I think Robbo was just saying, look, we've got it all under control. Just, you know, keep calm and trust in us.
But my grandson, like, mad for him doing that, though. And
Yeah.
James is not like that. James is a good lad, you know what I mean? He's sick of me, though. That was my grandson. And then Elmo J. I don't know if you have noticed, but the under-18s and under-21s, I've been watching them being rubber.
The results have not been good, have they, recently? Oh, noticed that.
There's not much coming through, like, is there?
Sorry?
There's not much coming through.
No,
they've let them all go on loan, haven't they? Most of them are on loan.
Well, I
like the look of that Doherty. Trenconi Doherty. I like the look of him. He looks like he's got
he's smart, isn't he? He's quick. He's a bit like Dope was when he came in. Yeah,
he is good.
He attacks the fullback. He goes for it. Yeah, I like him. He's only 17, isn't he? Kid.
Yeah.
And Peter May says Trent's always out of position. And he carries on by saying, I've said it once, you get the ball and behind Trent and have him running backwards, he's lost.
It's not his strongest side of defence, is it? We all know that, like.
See, sometimes though, Trent's a victim of the system. Because of how high he's told to push up and all that. I mean, if Liverpool lose the ball whilst in possession, and Trent's playing further up the pitch, he's naturally out of position, and that's not Trent's fault. So there are circumstances where it's on Trent, and there's a lot where it's you know a part of the system failing.
Yeah.
Two comments I want to go on there. Right. It's what I said as well before about this Addy. He says, think you meant Mike Dean, guys. I said Mike Dean from over the
No, it's not Mike Dean. I know Mike Dean.
I know Mike Dean's a Tranmere fan. He used to watch Tranmere from behind the goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, let me go on to two comments here. And he's talking to the Redbirds. Sure, as long as them legs get a league title, the fella will be a legend. 2 league titles from a guy from Hull. £8 million signing, one of Liverpool's best ever.
Yeah, well said there, Anfield Road.
He's a legend anyway.
Scottish captain.
Yeah, no one's denying that. And do you know what I've said, though? I have said this. And I put him in the category of Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr was a very, very, very lucky man to be snatched and put on a drum kit and play with the greatest bands ever.
But he did have the talent, Frank, didn't he? He did have the talent once that happened to him.
Yeah, of course. But it's the same as Robbo. It's the same as Robbo. Yeah. Anybody could have gone in for him, if you know what I mean. Manchester United, for example.
What a bargain. Was it 8 million? 8 million was it we got him for.
Now, just imagine if he never came to Liverpool. What would he have won? He's won everything with Liverpool. Every conceivable medal that you can win in club football, he's won.
That's right.
That's
That's fate.
very
Yeah,
lucky
some
for
players
him.
never won anything. Gerrard never won a Premiership, did he?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Just
not
your
knocking him
luck,
at
and
all.
your luck.
It was great.
Looks.
I always remember, what's his name, Marino saying, as I see it, when he was Man United manager. Remember that night? And he said, as I see it was Robertson going running up and down. Never forget that.
Harry Kane hasn't won much, has he? Harry Kane, his career in club football. Played for Spurs, won nothing hardly.
And Steve says, Michael Oliver was the best since his mate Coote got caught saying stuff about Klopp and LFC. Oliver now has a hate towards LFC. He's biased. Hate was there to see in the derby against LFC.
He certainly had a shocker, I'll put it that way, but it's one of those things we have to live with.
I don't know, though, Michael Oliver apparently wasn't happy when he got in from work and Coote hadn't made his favourite dinner. So, like every other husband, he appeased his wife for a peaceful life. Oh, shut up. Anyway, he carries on by saying that Phil Mitchell, who referred the weekend, had said, but that Cavani is not what we want. Never before going into our games have I looked for a rep, but now I am before the team sheet.
Yeah. A good ref shouldn't be noticed. He should be invisible.
Exactly.
Right, I'm going right down here. I've got to. There's loads of comments. I get all the adrenaline during a game, but I'm sorry, I can't accept emotion gets the better of you. Explain why some of the players who play against their former club score and choose, emphasise, not to celebrate. I know the situation was different with Jones and Decore, but was Jones the only Liverpool player to see Decore? He was a scout. He's a scouser. It's a big difference, I'm afraid, Peter.
If you've ever played football, you know about that.
I'm not sure he was, but no other Liverpool ran over. What spilled over afterwards was a consequence of both Decore and Jones. I understand what you're saying, Peter, but you've got to understand about the mentality and the passion of a scouser. That's what it is. And he's just acting like a fan. He was acting like a fan that he is, by the way. He's a Liverpool fan. He grew up being a Liverpool fan. And he ran over to say...
Do you remember Stevie Gerrard getting sent off, Frank, in a derby at Anfield when he went right in for the ball? Do you remember he was sent off?
Yeah. Twice he's been sent off against them.
Yeah.
Sneapy says, Nunez's effort is there for all to see, and there's a given Jota's the natural predator, undoubtedly. And for me, we shouldn't be paying 80 million to effectively audition a striker in Nunez's case. That's a powerful comment.
He should be scoring more goals. I agree with that. He should be scoring more goals. Salah's playing in a wing. Look at what he's done.
Exactly. And the King, no. Robbo's been one of our best ever left backs, but sadly he is declining and needs replacing. He's still a Liverpool great.
That's a good comment. It's a fair comment.
Yeah, it is a fair. Nobody will undermine in any way Robertson's, career at Liverpool.
Like a lion.
Nobody will. Question for Dino of the Anfield Row. You was at the match versus Hull. Did you think, like me, Dad thought Wolves pinned our flanks down and we had no ball out, no out ball. He sits King Kenny and thought we could get out of the second half. We couldn't get out.
I agree that we had no out ball. Whether they pinned us down or whether it was just Liverpool naturally dropping deeper, trying to protect the 2-0 lead. I mean, that's my opinion. It might not be somebody else's opinion, but definitely we had no out ball, and then it seemed to get worse when he switched Szoboszlai over to the left. Yeah. There was absolutely nothing. We couldn't hold the ball up. There was no one to even running behind, and Nunes was just a waste of his shirt, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not Darwin Nunes' biggest fan anyway, but he didn't even run around and try and cause mayhem as what he's renowned for on Sunday. He was just totally ineffective.
Yeah, we never had the shot on goal second half, did we?
No.
Well, we did. We scored, didn't we? And it was real for offside.
Yeah.
It was a shame, that. It was a wonderful goal, wasn't it? Such a shame. If he could have stayed in his own half.
Great ball by Trent.
Was terrible. Outside of the foot. Brilliant.
And you know what, though? Mo's never offside, is he? He always plays the line. Strange, that one.
That's what I mean. No, and it looked quick, quite close when you see it when you get home. But it was clear offside.
I thought it was very close. I couldn't tell hardly.
I thought it was going to be given, to be honest.
Yeah. That would have finished the game, I think, 3-0.
The Invisible Man. Good evening, all folks. Just wanted to say that if we win the next 3 games tomorrow versus Villa away, and after that versus City away, and then versus Newcastle at home, it doesn't matter what will be after we will be.
We'll be well on the way, that's for sure.
We win those 3 games, yeah. Frank George Dino, says Steve. Should 2 quality players be signed last month, CB number 6, to strengthen our weak areas for the title? Yeah.
That's an easy answer, yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. No,
we all agree with that.
No 2 ways about it. Tell George Celtic 1-0.
I'm a Rangers fan. No, I'm not. We beat them 2-0. I was the happiest day of my life when we beat them 2-0.
They're playing Bayern, aren't they? They're playing Bayern. Snapey, fair dues. Steve Gerrard didn't win the league. That's undeniable. However, he did lift the club football's biggest prize permanently for his own town club.
Absolutely,
for me,
yes.
That's the equivalent of any domestic league. I think it's more than any domestic league. To lift that cup for us to keep.
20 years ago, Frank, in May. Can't believe it.
Do you know what I was called? It is 20 years ago, yeah. And you know what? I was called in to the BBC to give an interview about the Strawberry Fields gate. You know, the gates where some yank bought them to put them on and drive up in Hollywood or somewhere. And the BBC was, asking me, I went into the studio and they said, what will it mean? Because there's replicas there. And you know what my answer was? I just said, just imagine if someone broke into Anfield and into the trophy room and had stolen the European Cup, the one that was given to us because we won it 6 times, the real McCoy. Someone had stolen it. And they said, don't worry, we'll have a replica made for you. It's not the same.
Not the same, no.
Copies.
Plenty of replicas.
And that's the, excuse me, that's the answer I gave.
Well, you were right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That was some night, that, Istanbul.
The greatest
Yeah.
night ever.
Yeah.
Peace and
Fabulous. Would be,
Anyway,
would be,
folks, I'm off to bed. Nice to hear opinions and sensible debate. Let's hope the Red Men do it and make it another Premiership title.
here, Peter.
Yeah.
Sleep well, mate.
Good night, mate. He's a good fella, good entertainer, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. And Steve says there is a lot of punch to be dropped between LFC, Arsenal for an hour till the last game. Who drops the least points wins the title. 7-point lead is nothing to shout about. We lost a 14-point lead before.
Oh, yeah. It's only 2 games, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, let's all be positive. Like, this 7-point lead, nothing. A 7-point lead is everything. We've got to be positive. We can't just look, people like seem to drag everything down in this day and age, you know what I mean? And I think being 7 points clear in February with 13 games to go, that's an unbelievable position for Liverpool to be in. I don't care.
If we win tomorrow, Dino, it's 10 points.
10 points.
Pressure back on Arsenal then.
If we beat Villa tomorrow and they see a 10-point gap, albeit like, you know, they say, well, we've got a game in hand. You've got to win that fucking game in hand. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. No, you're right, Dean, there. You're spot on, mate. You know, about being positive. You're absolutely spot on there. 7 points is amazing, really, when you think, I mean, the start of the season, none of us would have expected with Klopp leaving and Slot coming in. Who would have thought we'd be where we are now? Top of the European leagues, top of the Premier League, top of the world, mate.
Frank, can I give a little shout out to my 2 daughters?
Have you got to?
They're both watching.
Oh, there's you can go. Of course you can.
Darcy and Lottie, get to bed.
Yeah. Tell him your dad's brilliant. Your dad's brilliant, girls.
Lottie, you knew.
Liverpool,
Darcy.
huge Liverpool fans. Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. Are they watching you on the telly?
Yeah, they're watching.
Ah, that's
They'll have a smile on their face, that's for sure.
My dad's on the telly. Oh, that's lovely, that, you know. Really is.
Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Paul always saying to the IBR, you wouldn't think it was possible for Nunes to regress anymore, and we will be giving him away with Frank's watch at the end of the season.
Poor Nunes. Come on, Darwin. Get on the pitch and score a hat-trick tomorrow. They'll all love you, mate. People turn so quickly.
Do you know what, George? He's the type to do it.
Yes.
He's the type to get a winner.
Anyway,
and everyone will love him again, if you know what I mean. I think it's wrong for it. I like what Tino said before, and I've said this all along. Tino said, you've got to get behind. We do get behind the players, Tino. Every week we get behind the lads. And I've always said I don't give a toss about the owners. I give a toss about those lads who sit on the bench and who play on the pitch. That's who we always say. No one else.
They're the most important people in the mix.
Absolutely.
Probably pay our money to watch.
The men in the arena.
There's a big badge, you know, of a certain bird. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
love it. Right. And I love our away fans as well. I love our away fans.
Oh, phenomenal.
They're the best in the world, then.
You think the money they spend, some of these guys go everywhere, all over the world. Yeah.
Everywhere.
I know a lot of lads that do that. Don't know how to manage it.
Do me so. And Steve says, I can't believe Edwards turned down a 70 million offer for Nunes last month. Make that makes sense.
Yeah.
To make it make sense is that he didn't want to leave
all the players. We need them all, don't we? We need them all between now and the end of the season.
Exactly. He didn't want to leave us short.
No.
You can't spend the money till summer anyway.
No. And the Invisible Man, even if we did sell him, and I don't think that will come into the fore in the summer. Every summer we've been promised a war chest. I take no notice of that. Absolutely pathetic. And when we're going after players, oh look, that's all spin. If anyone can't see the spin by the owners for certain players, it's a load of nonsense. Like Bellamy and Shoemani, all these. Anyway, the Invisible Man says, I'll say it again because the message was too long. Mighty Reds win the next 3 games. It will be enough to win the league. But I'm worried after Wolves and Everton performances. That's what we've been saying, Invisible. That's what we've been saying.
I think Slot will be aware of that, and the players will be aware of that as well. They'll be up for it tomorrow.
Yeah, Paul Bear. Now, I know Paul's a mate of mine. And he said, well, said Dino, no surrender. You never walk alone. We go again.
That's it.
And he means that. We're all Reds. We're not like... This is the beauty of these comments. We agree, we disagree. Because we're all Reds. We've all got the Reds here.
What I like, Frank, I like what Dino's saying, because the reason I like it is that this generation are seeing some success through Klopp, and now, so far, through Slot. We've seen all the success going back to the 60s, 70s, fantastic in the 80s. Some wonderful legends been playing the game for our club. We've watched them, Frank, you and I, all these years. Now these young lads are now getting a taste for it. Just brilliant. Long may it continue, I'll tell you, and I think it will. Liverpool are always going to be up there.
Of course. What you said there, George, about, we've seen it from the likes of St. John and Roger Hunt, going forwards all through the years. And we still want more.
Yeah.
Because we're that passionate.
Shapes your life, mate.
Reds. That's what it's all about. We're Red men. Like Dino there, look, with his Davy Hickson haircut.
Still not as good as mine when I was at Liverpool. I didn't have a beard, though. They weren't popular then. Apart from Jimmy
haircut on Saturday. Got me barber coming.
I've seen you, Frank, with some dodgy hairdos.
Well, I've had some dodgy hairdos.
Yeah, Frank used to have it coming down the front.
Yeah.
Now he's got it going out the back.
Yeah, there's me, Dino.
I've seen you.
See?
I got that for him.
He got that for me, yeah.
I did,
yeah. Great, isn't it? But, see, we're all cop lads, see. We're all cop lads. That's
brilliant. Brilliant. All the managers.
We're on the cop with the lads. Always have been, always will be. And Snapey, don't forget our superior goal difference. That's where the point on top of the 7 we already have.
That's right. Nobody mentions that. It's true.
Yeah, good point.
Good point. Excuse the pun.
We're about 8 points. That's 8 goals better at the moment.
Yeah, look at that. IBR. Dino's kids think he's on the Des Lynam show. Oh, hey.
I think he's on Kojak.
With you, George. Oh, blimey.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Steve says, we win 11 games from the last 13, we win the title. Destiny is in our own hands. With this super thin squad, need Lady Luck to shine on us. No injuries or fatigue. You're right there, lad. You're right. And the IBR says, IBR, Frank's gone from Freddie Boswell to Des Lynam in the last decade. He's definitely not winning the watch or the programme. He's definitely not winning it. Not this. This is what you get, you see, Dino. All nice. Yes, Snappy State, right? Correct, but with all the respect I have to say that it's not the best season of Liverpool. I already said that in Terry's stream.
It's pretty good season, though, isn't it? I mean, the only one I can think of better in recent years is when we won the league by 20-odd points in the pandemic.
I don't know what people want. I mean, if you're criticising the season, it's perfection that you're looking for, and perfection doesn't exist in football.
Exactly.
It just doesn't. And this is what I mean about like negativity. I mean, 7 points clear, and you're saying it's not a great season. I'm absolutely.
It's you know, it says a great season, no matter how we look at it.
It's not just the league; it's a European as well. We beat Real Madrid.
We can still get up to 99 points.
Yeah. See, the way I look at it, look, say we won't win anything, right? We won't win nothing. Say we just go to that's it. Now, the point is, has it been a successful season? Because what you've got to look at is a new fella coming in to take over one of the greatest managers of all time.
Yeah.
Has it been good for him? You know, the ways he just came in, and he right now we're top of the European League, and we're top of the Premiership, the hardest league in the world, and also in a cup final. That is success. Even if the fucking season stops now, that's success.
Yeah. I agree.
That's the way I look at it. That's
we were thinking top four, weren't we? We were thinking top four at the start of the year. Top four would be great, you know. Now we're in top four now.
And Snappy says, what Dean says about criticism-ridden society has merit. Naturally, we want to win, but people are too willing to pull us down. It's a societal trend that's being prevalent. Fucking weird.
Alphabetic spaghetti there, Snappy.
It's just, I know.
Highly intelligent man, unlike me.
Behave yourself.
But he's a philosopher, Snappy.
Yeah.
What?
He's a philosopher.
Yeah.
Yes.
6 in the corner.
Shankly used to say about that. People use long words. Remember, said we say they're bloody greedy. Avaricious. When they said people are avaricious, he said we say they're bloody greedy.
I love Shankly.
Oh yeah, some man team.
The Anfield Roar. David Moyes is turning into Wilfred Bramble. That Amaral is as the bravery of Charles Hawtrey. Well, we all knew. I'm not bothered about Man United. I'm really not interested about them. What they do.
They're below Everton. Shows how bad they are. It's embarrassing.
But you know,
they're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's made
the biggest in the weekend as well.
I think he's made the biggest mistake of his life when he refused to come to Liverpool, and he took on a job that he's going to struggle, not just this season, but every season. To be honest, Amaral.
Well, if they carry on on the trajectory that they're on at the moment, he might not even see the season out, and that's going to go against his name straight away. You know, for future jobs. So where you've got a young, ambitious coach who becomes the manager of Manchester United and is doing arguably worse than what Erik ten Hag was.
Yeah, that's right.
It's great to see. Let's be honest, it's great to see. Long may it continue.
Make the most of it, eh?
Yes, absolutely.
Just a bad side at the moment.
Sleepy says, when something dictates emotional fluctuations like our club, we take it seriously. It's the reason we're all here to articulate our commitment to the cause. In capitals, loyalty, fanaticism, commitment.
Good man,
Spot on.
Sneapy. Good man, boy. You're right there.
Spot on there. And the invisible man, not perfection, but better offence and sharpness and better defence. That's what he's saying about, I think he's talking about, well, which he is talking about, the last few games. And I agree with him there. I agree with your invisible man.
Even when we won the league, though, Frank, in 2020, there was games where we only got by winning 1-0 and we didn't play particularly well. And you remember the Norwich game that made us go 25 points clear. That took us 25 points clear, but we struggled to a 1-0 game, a 1-0 win after a bit of individual brilliance from Sadio Mane, you know what I mean? So even as good as we were, we still had games where we had to fight to get over the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what champions do, isn't it? They find a way to win in the end. Man United, you saw, was do it in the glory years.
Liverpool have always done it.
Yeah, in the 80s and 90s, yeah.
If you can't play well, just so you win.
Paul always got a good point here. All you really want is to be in contention going into April. And we are top of the league, the Premiership, in the EFL Cup final.
Absolutely.
And still in the Champions League.
Couldn't be better.
And this is what it's all about, lads.
Spot on.
Everything is about.
We've got to love it, haven't we? We've got to love it at the moment, really.
If you don't enjoy this, then football's not for you.
You never will, there, Dean. No, you're absolutely right, mate. You never will.
Oh, this lad's off his head.
We see a better with a big one.
Is that the invisible man?
Yeah.
I'll have to read it out because he's took his time to write it. He's talking to Callum, the greatest cop-out on the planet. Wish to see a better Liverpool with a bigger wins and not struggling and doing nothing in the second half against Wolves. I think it got to a lot of people, to be honest, the second half. I think it did. But having said that, if Mo Salah's goal would have, stood, if that penalty would have been given, think about it.
Would be 4-0. Yeah. Small margins, isn't it? Fine margins.
Yeah. And that's what, and I give you, I tell you what gave them the impetus was when that lad went through and he hit it, and the wonderful Ali made that fantastic save, that 1-on-1.
Yeah.
That gave them a lift, a massive lift. It's the way it is. But I still say this, we have to improve.
Hey, Callum needs to realise there's no easy games now in the Premier League. Not a single easy game. Whoever you play. But Bournemouth, look at Bournemouth. I mean, who would have thought Bournemouth? That's a real tough game, Wolves is a tough game. Newcastle will be they're all tough games.
I think you also have to realise, though, that when you're playing against a team and you're 2-0 up with them at half time, they've got nothing to lose effectively in the second half. It's a bit of a free hit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Steve says, if Arm wins the title with Klopp's squad, which is super thin for me, it will be amazing. Arm for Manager of the Year award and a round of applause for Klopp, leaving Arm a quality of 15-man squad. That's a good point, though, actually.
May get Klopp on the tour bus.
Yeah, he said that, didn't he? He said
amazing.
But you think, I'm not being funny here, but you think that will undermine?
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, Frank. I don't think Jurgen would do that anyway. I don't think
so either. But, if it does happen, I think it'll undermine. Salute.
Anyway, we need to win it first.
Need to win it, yeah. And as the IBR says, Snapey deserves the top comment award.
Every week.
And I hope you appreciate it. I'm reading this with me distant glasses on. It's very hard for me.
I thought you were having dark glasses.
I know. I've got terrible headache, actually, because my optician said to me, wear your sunglasses, because of this light coming at me. It's killing me. And the Anfield Roar, we as a club, without doubt, the best side in Europe. I want the league title and our fans to celebrate in a packed ground. And if we can win the Champions League, it will be great too. The League Cup versus the Geordies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was on there. I don't go on Facebook much, to be honest. I really don't. And I went on it. I was sitting in bed in the morning, and they had, I think it was TalkSport on, and they had these fella, I don't know them. And
Simon
they had them
Joe.
on. No, it wasn't them. It was these other lads. Anyway, I think it was TalkSport. I'm not quite too sure. It could have been just a fucking pod. I don't know, George. And they were praising Manchester United and the treble. And someone said, well, Liverpool won a treble, Joe Fagan. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
First team to ever win a treble.
Yeah.
I know, right. I've said it all along, loads of times. And he doesn't get the credit. And Joe Fagan, don't you there?
He was my manager for 4 years, yeah. Yeah, Joe was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And he never gets the credit he deserved because of
No, he doesn't. I don't know. Thanks them for your That was a cracking comment, mate. That was a really good comment. And Snapey says 38 games equates ups and downs. Dean spot on. Perfection is unattainable.
Yeah, absolutely right.
And the Anfield will be great. Wow. How far we've come from Roy. Oh, don't even mention him.
Why?
Banning me from comments. Right.
I was when going the match felt like it's sure.
I'm shocking.
That was a right mistake, wasn't it? Big mistake. One of the few. Shocking. Yeah.
Steve Evans. Steve. Go ahead, team, lad. Even if Frank George and my old mate, Dino.
Yeah. Steve, I've always not known Steve for about 26 years.
Yeah, he communicates with me.
Yeah. Top lad, top red. And
he writes to me on Facebook, Steve. He writes to me on Facebook. I get quite a lot of communications with Steve. Brilliant,
yeah, top lad, Steve.
He always phones me up, actually. We have a great chat. Whether it's about football, which it normally is, or films and TVs. And he commented last night and he said, "You watched Landman yet?" I said, "I'm watching it. I haven't finished the series." That's what Steve is. He's a cracking lad. I know him well. I went into, I'm one of these hosts, for Liverpool, for university anyway. And what I mean is, with being a lecturer and retired, and they say to you, will you be a host, if a student comes over? This is through this, So I said, yeah, okay. Anyway, a girl came, a South Korean. Oh, that fucking big she was. That little thing she was. So anyway, I phoned Steve. I said, "Hey, Steve," I said, "I've got this South Korean girl." I said, "I'll take her out tomorrow to show her Liverpool." I said, "She's only here till the next day." I said, "Do you mind if we're going down to?" And he said, "Yeah, come in, no problem." So we goes down. Right, there he works. And I walks in with this tiny little girl, little student in the 20s, but she was tiny. So I walks in like that, and in the reception area it was crowded, and there was all these people. So as I walked in, all the heads turned to her. Oh, hello, Frank, yeah, like this. Steve was in the corner, and I looked over, and I was looking around for him, seeing him, and you know what he said? Hello, Frank, is that your mail order bride? And all the heads looked at me again. I didn't know what to say. So when I went around the town, meeting people who I knew, I had to say, this is a student from South Korea, showing her around Liverpool, because they might have had the same thought. A mail order bride.
Brilliant.
That's Steve for you. That's Steve Evans.
Yeah, he's boss, Steve.
Ah, love him. The Redbirds, I'm sorry, Anfield Road, Redbirds, I was in the stands during that period. It was the poorest of times when King Kenny came back. It was the start of everything.
Yeah. It is.
I'll go right down, I'm going to finish. I'm going to get the last few in. Because I can hear little Lottie crying for her dad. And Sleepy says, Odsher was a scared rabbit in the headlights. He was. I don't know what whoever suggested him to the owners. That was the worst thing ever.
It was Pearslow, wasn't it?
Sorry?
I don't know who got the job.
That's Pearslow, wasn't it?
Pearslow, another phony in.
Christian Pearslow, yeah.
And that other phony, Broughton.
Oh, yeah.
I know that there was other things, other owners, not owners, I'm sorry, other buyers, and I'm talking about good buyers who wanted to buy Liverpool, and they went straight to these lots a day.
Yeah.
That is Evo again. Nice one for the compliments, lads. Was in our old zone Sunday, Dean, and saw your dad and your kid. Onwards, Redmen. Yeah.
Cabbage.
And the cop out. Now this fella, the most famous cop out in the is Callum. And he says, Allison, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, Maka, Jones, Diaz, Nunes, Salah. Now, you wouldn't argue with that, would you?
I wouldn't argue with that, no. Not really.
I think it probably will be closer to that than like the team that I picked, but you certainly wouldn't argue with it.
Yeah, I think it would be very close to that, to be honest. That's a good selection.
Yeah, great panel this evening, George. Great panel this evening, George, as usual. But now we have a new voice coming in Dino. Well done, Frankie. You recruit better than Richard Hughes.
Frank, it's not hard to do,
It's not hard to do. And of course, a career of director of football position.
Yeah, you've been brilliant, Dean. Brilliant, mate.
Been great, hasn't he?
How old are your daughters, Dean?
Sorry?
How old are your girls?
My youngest is 9, and Darcy is 13.
They're off school this week. Off school this week,
yeah,
aren't they?
they're off school, yeah.
Yeah.
She's nearly 14. Yeah, older girl.
But the main problem, or the main point, about your girls, Darcy and little Lottie, is are they Reds?
Oh, of course.
There you go. My granddaughter, get onto this. I think you'll feel sorry for her now. My granddaughter's 12, right? And she loves Trent. I got her a shirt, trench on, you know. But she just never had trench on. She has a fucking full me. It cost money. Prince Alexander-Arnold, you know. So anyway, she hasn't been to a game, can't get her a ticket.
Oh.
I have to get two. I have to get one for Francine, you know, she's a big red. Just can't get her them. And she said, Granddad, when are you getting me a ticket? I want to go to the match and show me shirt off. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. And the Redbirds, come back, Dino. You're a good one. Yeah.
Nice one.
There you go. Quite
There
right.
you go.
Brilliant.
And Snapey says, been an absolute blast tonight. Mr. O, you've conducted yourself admirably. As ever, a credit to our fan base. Good night, everyone. Let's vanquish the villains tomorrow.
Good night, Snapey. Good lad.
You can't get any better than that. Let's vanquish them. After watching Bayern tonight, I don't see many teams in this Champions League that want us over 2 legs, says the Anfield Roar.
Yeah, we don't feed anybody. Not at Anfield, anyway.
And Steve says, Dino, being a great signing by Frank and George for the show. Frank George done more of signing than users done this year.
They're brilliant, aren't they?
That's
Brilliant.
great. Well, that's brilliant. That. And the Copite, our famous Copite, Courtois wants us in the UCL.
Be careful what he wishes for.
Yeah. Beat him once already.
Destroyed them at Anfield. We destroyed them.
We did.
And all right, they never have Vinicius playing, but that's no problem.
I don't think anybody will want to come to Anfield, to be honest. They don't want us in a draw.
No.
Especially if it's a second leg.
No. And the Anfield, night snipey, lads. And stay ever. Dean got a good grounding with some boss Reds in the cabbage back in the day. Well in, lad. Hopefully catch up with you soon.
That's true.
Jeff Goulding goes in the cabbage before the game.
Add some boss times in there.
Where the cabbage?
Yeah.
Jeff Goulding goes in there before the game. He goes there every day, every match. Jeff.
He's great, Jeff. Great fella, Jeff. So you'll come on again, Dino?
I'd love to, mate. Yeah, whenever you want me, I'm free.
Oh yeah.
Good one.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been great there, Dean. You've been brilliant, mate. Absolutely.
Nice one, George. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. And especially little Darcy and Lottie, supporting you.
Best be in bed now, though.
Yeah, they've got to be in bed
tomorrow.
Yeah.
They'll be in school tomorrow saying, my dad was on the telly last night.
My grandchildren are going to work.
You'll be able to look at, you'll be able to look this back, your girls be able to look back.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
Anyway, I'll have to get you a copy of my book signed for the girls, definitely.
Oh, I'd love that, George.
I'll sort that out with Frank.
Do you know the Invisible Man who's going to be the last 16, Benfica or Monaco? Because we can draw one of the teams, and also Paris is possible. Paris Saint-Germain.
Fancy is against them.
Steve 2005 and the cabbage and the broken couches. Yeah, I knew that he was a villain, a hooligan.
2001, lock-in after the Barcelona game and everything. It was brilliant.
It's all about, isn't it? Memories.
That's what it is. Memories. Great memories.
It is.
With your mates.
I remember when he came home from Istanbul, going down. I was going down the drive, And as I was going down the drive, I seen this fella with a big European cup. And we stopped by the lights. And I was driving then. So what are you doing with that? He says, going to fucking celebrate. What do you think I'm doing? I said, we played last week. He said, I'm fucking not celebrating. You can't make these things up. You can't make them up.
That Istanbul game, I was there with my son Gavin, and when we scored the last, when Dudek saved that penalty, we fell down three steps, hugging each other, rolling down in each other's arms. It's just incredible.
Do you know what, though, George?
What a great picture.
It just shows you. We've been talking about passion, we've been talking everything, and then when you think about what one ordinary Liverpool fan does, as I said, this fella has a replica, big European cup, and he was running with it. He was running across the road, across the drive, because we stopped at lights, and I just shouted. I said, "What are you doing with that?" Celebrating, you know what I mean? And that's how it is. That's how it is. With us Reds. Post-match tomorrow when Liverpool will be on 63 points, says the Copite Callum. Yes.
Post-match tomorrow. I had a big put out a clock, Frank. When we won the league in 2020. And used to bring it in the living room and have me tea with it.
Love it. That's fantastic.
That's what I mean. And I just mentioned my little granddaughter with Trent's on her back, and this is what, no matter what age, it's in you. It's
I took my son to see his first match. He was 7, I think, and Keegan was playing. And I took him for years, and then the penny turns, and he started taking me. That's how it works, Dean. That's how it works, believe me, and then now he's going with my grandchildren, and I'm the one who stays at home. So it goes all through the generations,
It says it's a big cycle.
Go there when one of them can't go, but generally speaking, they're there every game in the cup, right behind the goal to the left. You know what it says? LFC in white.
Yeah.
On the cup, LFC in white. Well, on the C, our 3 seats are at the bottom of the C. The last 3 white seats on the C. So if you're ever in the cup and you want to come over and chat, come over.
I'm on row 5 at the cup, just to the right of the right-hand goal post, facing obviously the Anfield Road end. Just same right off the right-hand goal post.
The same as us, row 28. We're in row 28. Exactly where you are. So look out for us when you're over there. Or the boys.
I'll just finish on these. There's only a few. I guess Benfica, but I'm not sure, says the Invisible Man. Steve says, can't be bothered who we draw. And Steve says, lock-ins in the cabbage were legendary. Well, I wouldn't know that. Lock-ins, stay behind. And the cop-out says, Frank party at your backyard in June time, lad. We celebrate Istanbul 7 times the Prem again. Bevies, orange juice, the lot. Oh, he's an orange juice.
Yeah, there'll be a few celebrations that day, I'll tell you.
Even the Anfield Road says to the cop-out, now you're talking. With all his pints. The Invisible Man, I'm going to end on this, lads. And he says, wish to be in Liverpool and celebrate with the club and to find a lovely lady soulmate because I live alone just because I'm very shy. I'll behave yourself. He's a philanderer. I always remember watching a film.
Get Frank to buy you a little Thai girl.
Mail order, blurry. Thanks very much. I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah, I know.
That's him. Oh, that's the God. That's so. And Snapey. Okay, he went to bed, didn't he?
Better than an hour ago.
In 2005, I cried my eyes out when Steven Gerrard lifted the number 5, bawled like a child. Like we said earlier, the club dictates our emotional well-being.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
I think that's a cracking comment.
Take it everywhere. You take it to work, you take it home with you. It's there. It's a constant, isn't it?
And I've lived by Shankly's rules all my life. It lives with you forever.
Yes, Shankly does. That little banner, Shankly lives.
Shankly lives forever.
He done the same for Jürgen, didn't he? He had Jürgen lives forever on his last game.
Yeah, Jürgen had Shankly's picture in his office as well, right up on the wall there behind his desk. Fantastic.
He was like him though, wasn't he?
Neatest thing.
No one was ever like Shankly. Nobody until this big German came along.
Yeah.
And he was a mirror image. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, he was a perfect fit. The perfect fit.
Even like his, ideologically wise as well. He was very politically. He was
yes, exactly.
Very, very similar to Shanks.
Yeah. He's similar to every Scouser. That's what we were all wearing.
Yeah.
And Shankly knew about the Scousers.
Yeah. Well, that was his big quote, Frank. He said, I was made for Liverpool and Liverpool was made for me.
Well, there you go.
That was absolutely spot on. Same with Jürgen, I think.
I was made a page here. Not you, Myra Pitt. I was Myra been in. Oh, she hasn't, has she?
She's South Africa. She's South Africa.
South African, yeah.
She lives in Port Elizabeth. That's where I played. Port Elizabeth, where she lives. Myra.
That's the Anfield Road. So
he didn't hear me.
Come on, Callum, get that Myra Page over. She's a rocket. Well, anyway, lads, I'm going to finish on that lovely note.
Good man.
And got to thank you, Dino. I'll be in touch.
It's been brilliant, mate. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, it's been brilliant, Dino. Honestly, you've been great, mate.
I'm going to tell you something, George.
What?
When I was saying to Dino, I said, I'll would you want to come on? He said, oh, yeah, if you don't mind. I said, yeah, okay. And I said, how would you like to come on with George? And do you know what he said?
What?
It'll be a great honour.
Oh, man. No, not really. Not really. It's just been a pleasure to talk with you tonight.
Anyone who's wore that lava bird on the shirt, it's enough of an honour for me.
Yeah,
but anyway, it's been great chatting to you, and we'll do it again, I'm sure, many times.
Thank you.
I've got to go get the cocoa now, Frank. I'm afraid it's time for
and I'm just going to build a Klopper statue. I was wondering who you'd rather re-race next PSG or Benfica. It'll be 50-50 now as Benfica advance tonight.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, pretty much the same as the Evans and George. Not really bothered.
And the Liverpool Jabby. Hey, gents, just done watching the Celtic Bayern game where they nearly took them to extra time.
Wow.
I'm finishing. Jabby.
Yeah, because you're like Ken Dodd, Frank. You're like Ken Dodd.
I know. I am one of them.
Anyway, I'm going now. So good night to Dean. Thanks again, Dean. Really,
no
really
worries. It's been my pleasure.
Thanks as always, Frank.
Up the Reds.
Yeah, I'll see you next Tuesday.
George. See you next Tuesday.
Good night, everybody. Up the Reds.
Right, everyone.
Up the Reds. Good night, George.
Up the Reds.
Isn't he great, eh? Isn't he great?
Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he?
And even Steve Evans says, night all.
Night, Evo.
See you, mate. And Gabby says, what will you guys dream about tonight? A Darwin hat-trick. Well, the thing is, you see, we've been talking about all that. and wouldn't be surprised if the Darwin scores tomorrow. And
I'll be teaming of a hat-trick of sorts, but I don't think it'll Darwin who'll be on the end of them.
Yeah. I think I'm not predicting. I don't like predictions.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But I'm going to say to them all, see you all tomorrow night. Don't forget the post-match. It's at 10 o'clock. Okay. And the Invisible Man, Darwin hat-trick.
Take it.
You never know. You never know. Dino, thank you so much. I'll have you on next Tuesday if you don't mind.
Yeah, sound, mate.
George. Okay, mate.
Sound.
See
you later.
Mate.
Night, everyone. Up the Reds.
Up the Reds. Thanks, people. Thanks for keeping Dino, George, and myself company. And I'll see you all tomorrow night. Thank you. Ciao.